somewhere else, they got a friend in another state.
There you go.
And I think that, see, here's the thing. New Mexicans are like exactly like Julio said, they're so quick to judge. They're so quick to not accept outsiders. You know, and I'm fucking guilty of it myself sometimes. But at the same time, once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Once you're in your family.
It's very, very much familia when you're in, but when you're not and you're an outsider, they're going to treat you as such until you prove yourself otherwise.
And you got to, like Julio said, you got to kind of get brought to the cookout.
Yeah.
Like you got to be brought in by somebody who is accepted, and, you know, and that's where.
Well, you guys are bringing me to the cookout.
There you go.
We here at the cookout.
You're brought in. No, and we're very happy to have you guys down here. And, you know, me and Julio look at it a lot different. I think we align in the fact of we want our state on the in the highlight. We want our state on the top stage. We want our state to have recognition. And I think if you're too closed off and you're too against outsiders, you're never going to get any recognition. You're never going to get any spotlight. And I think with the importance of High Times being in New Mexico and the importance of High Times being here is we can show off what the fuck we got, you know, what it's all about, what this fight, what this attitude that, you know, if you've observed New Mexico from the rest of the country, what it's about, you know, and I think that a company, an international publication like High Times is the perfect place to highlight that.
Yeah. You know, that was the purpose of Fusion, really reaching out to High Times and wanting to bring it here, you know, seeing it in Denver, seeing it when it came to the U.S. and how great of an opportunity that posed for those local farmers, producers, manufacturers. You know, I always knew that would be great here. And luckily we were able to get the state to agree to let it happen.
Yeah.
And
thanks to you guys.
With recreational coming on board, it really all made sense and came together. So it's great to have High Times, you know, recognizing New Mexico and doing a cup here. We've always known people in the state, there's a lot of good cannabis comes out of the state, and it has for years.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some of the best mountainous regions and climate in the nation to grow cannabis. So there's always been a good product that came out of New Mexico.
Well, and most people in the country, and we've said it before on the podcast, most people in the country, and I'll try not to fuck up the year, but most people in the country don't realize that we were one of the first, if not the first, medical state.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was 07.
06, 07, we were in, right in there, yeah.
So if you know, American cannabis regulation and American, cannabis legalization, most states were not doing anything in 2006, 2007.
Right.
So now it did take many years for the actual program to get established, but in the beginning, we were one of the first to produce a medical program.
Exactly. And, hence having us, there's a lot of producers that have been doing this for over a decade now and really have, got their craft kind of, honed in and really doing it well. So it's great to see this opportunity come through New Mexico and give them a chance to shine. And even for the new people who are in with the recreational market,
sure.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, and we got a small team, big dreams. We can only do like 8 to 10 states a year, and there's so many states that want us to. Yeah, there's so many states that want us to come here or to come to their state. But yeah, we watch every state. We want to find ones that are ripe and that we feel like, all right, they're at the point where there's enough real brands doing real good things that we can come in there and highlight and see some differentiations between the people who are actually putting their heart and soul into creating products and the people who are just buying low-cost product and shuffling shit through, the mud to get it to the shelves.
Right.
Yeah, and New Mexicans were real apprehensive when they first saw the High Times Cup advertised out here. Mm-hmm. And they were, immediately on the fence, and they were like, oh, they want money for sponsorship, and they want all these grams. And just like you just said, is when you guys look at a state, the state has to be ready for a cup.
Yep.
They have to be ready for a competition. They have to almost be big enough for that. And I definitely think New Mexico is, but I think a lot of these states are still in a small thinking mindset. And, for concentrates, you have to enter 114 grams,
right.
Which for a large concentrator or a large concentrate manufacturer, that's not a lot.
Deal, right.
You know what I mean?
But it's a lot for small brands. And some of the small brands are the better ones.
Thousands and thousands of grams, stockpiled. So it's not a lot, but for a small guy that's just starting out, that has does 50-gram runs,
Right.
does he has a few jars in his safe with a couple 100 grams total. So I think the maturity of a market is such a good thing to look at that when you guys go state to state, because the market definitely has to be able to withhold the competition.
And to your point about being, a smaller manufacturer, it could be that other side of it too, where it gives you the opportunity to springboard your company, springboard your brand. If you can squeeze in the amount that you need to get into the cup, it could be a game changer for your business. You're going to get that recognition, you get that push, and what's to say you couldn't win?
Yeah, and we've seen that over and over. For example, Brandon, Oklahoma, infused pickles. We were like small mom and pop shop. They hit us up. They're like, we want to enter our pickles. We're like, okay, cool. Goes into the non-gummies category, because we usually split up our edible categories into gummies and non-gummies. And I didn't think it would win, but it won first place, best edible non-gummies in Oklahoma, and they were so ecstatic, and they were just praising how much it's done for their business.
And
it
look
was
at
so great.
Look at
That's
the
amazing.
recognition they get, and look at the recognition they get, and look at the international spotlight that is put on that little manufacturer out of Oklahoma. That before that day or before that trophy, nobody ever knew who they were.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And no, I think that's monumental. And I'm sure they looked at it as, oh man, we got to make a lot of pickles for this or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do an Oklahoma accent, but
It's probably a stretch for them to get into the competition, but it paid off.
yeah,
For sure. It's like sometimes, and somebody said this to me, it's like, yeah, okay, you can, let's say you're a property manager, you're renting out a unit and you're consistently making X amount of dollars a month. But if you were to pause, hold that operation and invest in maybe rebuilding that unit or that building, you can now get the benefits of that. So that's where people are like, oh, my shit is selling off the shelves, or I don't have enough product. It's like, take a moment, maybe invest in this, get enough product, keep your money, we'll just take the product, and we're going to get that into the hands of 228 different judges who are going to rate your product, see your product, are now aware of it, and likely talking to friends and family about it, and then you get feedback and you see if you win.
Well, and I think that's where people are so confused, is they're like, what are they doing with all this product? And it's like, hey, dumbasses, they're putting it in fucking bags and they're spreading it across the state. It's the People's Choice Award.
Right.
So you couldn't just give them 25 fucking grams, because then it's just going to be 25 people's fucking, choice award. And so many of these competitions that we see locally, so many of these guys, the same guys that are like, they want too much fucking weed, they want too much dabs, those same motherfuckers are the ones that are bitching about the local competitions being popularity contests.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you want?
Yeah.
So
you can't have both ways.
Yeah.
You got to pick one.
The local competition only asks for 7 grams, cool, or 25 grams, but it's a very small amount of people testing those products.
And how are they judging? Is it all at a round table?
It's a party kind of group discussion where it becomes a popularity contest. So, if you're one of the more popular companies, and believe me, you see a cases full of trophies in there.
Yep.
We've won a ton of their trophies.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we had the best products in the competition, but I also believe we were one of the most popular brands in the competition.
Okay. Right.
So if you want to get away from that, you have to put enough product out there for enough people to test and enough people to give you feedback.
Right.
Because that's the only way. Then you're not going to have somebody winning by, a single vote, or you know what I mean? Well, one guy liked it more than the other guy, so this is the winner.
Yeah.
No, you have 228 people, or hundreds of people in for instance, because I know it's different amounts for each category, but you have a good amount of people that are filling in what they feel about these products.
Right.
And I think that's huge, and I think that that's the only way to truly do a legit contest.
It gives people a more wide variety of judging, and judges to really officially give you a good review of your product.
Yeah.
When you have that round table, so to speak, or just a couple of people who are friends of friends that actually are tied to these different brands, it really creates that bias and doesn't allow for, I think, a really solid judging. With the model that High Times has put together, I think it's awesome. It gives the average customer a chance to be a judge. Previously, it was hard to be a high times judge, right? You pay a lot of money, you have to be selected. It wasn't just sign up and you could be a judge.
Yeah.
So
I think that's huge. I think that's huge because I think people, when they see who wins or whatnot, they can actually feel like, okay, I put a say, you know what I mean? I picked them because this dab was amazing, or I picked them because as soon as I opened that bag of flour, the terp smacked me in the face. Right. You have a personal connection to, the company you're backing or the product you're backing in the competition.
Right.
So I think that's huge.
Definitely.
I don't have to say anything. You guys got this. You guys got
Before
it.
we move forward, I wanted to just real quick.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Farm Table, guys.
We're on the show now.
Farm Table's going on. Mark, if you would introduce yourself and what you do for High Times and how you brought the cut to New Mexico.
Absolutely. First name's Mark. Last name's Kazanek. A lot of people just call me Kaz. I've been at High Times for 5 years. I'm now VP of Events and Competitions. Feeling real great. New title. And I got my team here behind the scenes. As always, road dogs that roll with us, Joey and Vince.
Nice.
Maybe we'll get a little screen time with them. But yeah, we're here in New Mexico. Just landed today. Literally got off the flight a couple hours ago. First stop is the Pharm Table.
Love it.
Gotta be here. We're so appreciative to be here in New Mexico. It's all of our first times in New Mexico. So yes, we are aliens to New Mexico, and we're here to help identify and award the best products in New Mexico via a public judging forum. So you guys, cultivators, processors, you put your heart and souls into creating these products. And yeah, there's competitions and those are important, but a lot of it is small, heady heads judging that, which is an extremely important part of the whole puzzle.
Yeah, of
course. But we have people that want their voices heard. We have people that consume cannabis and spend money on cannabis in dispensaries every single day, every single week. Those people are making the buying decisions that keep these businesses afloat. So we want to talk to them. We want to hear from them, and we want to take what we hear from them, celebrate the people who heard the best from them, and then let you guys hear what they said about it. So
I think that's awesome. No, and I think the main thing that this competition brings is some integrity and the regulation side of it. Me and Julio and you sat with the state and Damien and everybody else involved, the lawyers.
Long
sat
process.
with the state and went through a long process to make sure this was a state endorsed or whatever you want to say it. They're okay with it.
Approved.
A state approved.
It's compliant.
event,
Nobody's going to lose their license.
which is the first time in New Mexico cannabis fucking history. Just so you know, there's been lots of award shows. Like I said, I've entered them. You know what I mean? Don't at me, but you know what I mean. But this is the first one that's truly legal. This stuff is bio-tracked. This stuff is in the dispensaries.
Right.
And it's for the consumers that are going to the dispensaries. So many of these other competitions have pre-market, black market, outside products in them. This is a competition that it's only bio-tracked material. It's only legal brands. And those are the ones, like you just said, that pay the bills for guys like us and guys like you.
Yeah.
And those are the people I want to hear back from.
That was a big part of why, us with Fusion, Fusion Promotions, bringing this to New Mexico to really legitimize the market a little more and really, do it on a platform that is highly recognizable, such as High Times, and really, I feel like give the credibility and the recognition to the people who have spent the time, money, and energy to be in this thing on a legal side.
Yeah.
Jump through all the hoops we've all had to jump through, and it's a lot of heartache and pain to be in this industry. I think a lot of people have this misconception that it's easy. You just kind of fall into it, and it's just kind of one of these things that easy come, easy go, and it's really not. It's hard to do it right. It's hard to do it correctly, and those producers and manufacturers such as yourself who spend that time, energy, and heartache into this need to get that chance to be recognized on a national level and feel like they're kind of getting a little bit back for what they've put in, more than just the recognition of their, peers in the state. This, and like we were talking about earlier, could springboard some companies. We don't know who's going to win this thing.
Yeah, when there's a lot of new companies in New Mexico.
Exactly.
A lot of grassroots, like myself, New Mexico, New Mexicans that have built their company from ground up, that have just come out. They just hit this last year. April, we celebrated our 1 year in Interrec, not as a company, but as a state indirect. And so a lot of these companies are just hit a year old. They've got new unique products out there. They've got different stuff that, you know, people haven't seen. And like you were just talking about with the pickles in Oklahoma, you never know what's going to hit. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is maybe only one fucking dispensary carries that product. How many you think are going to carry it after they get a fucking High Times Cup?
Bingo.
After they have, you know, any accolade, but especially one that's seen from so many levels.
Right.
I would imagine if they had one, they were in one dispensary, they'd probably be in majority of the dispensaries after they won the trophy.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of people don't realize too what entering could mean for them, that side on like an ROI. You know what I mean? And
Mark,
you know,
and even if they don't win, I mean, the product is going into these dispensaries which may or may not have ever seen or heard of your product. Say they see something, they're like, this looks cool. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll order a sample order, you know, reach out, make touch base, connecting people, you know, like use High Times as a crutch, because there's a lot of brands that you may not be in touch with, but we're in touch with. And now, hey, anyway, we can connect this brand to this dispensary, to this manufacturer who can process this person's, you know, fresh flower. There's so many different ways that we can be a resource.
And even if you don't win, like you just said, you might be that person's favorite product in the bag. So, you know, like, you know, perfect example. You know, there's going to be dispensary owners that buy the bags. There's going to be, you know, bud tenders that buy the bags. There's going to be consumers that buy the bags. And so you have that shot of getting your business out there and getting into different places just because, you might be the favorite in that person's bag.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, if you could, would you touch on what it is to be a judge with High Times? What if you're one of the lucky people who are able to buy a kit, what should they expect? How do they judge this kit? How do they use it? Is there a correct way, a wrong way? How does it work?
There's the whole nine. So I'll actually start from the beginning, from even the entries. So we announced this cup, and we are making a call out to any licensed company, brand in New Mexico that can properly manifest their product in BioTrack to our partner facility, Pecos Valley in Roswell. We're going to be accepting indica flower, sativa flower, hybrid flower, pre-rolls, infused pre-rolls, solvent concentrates, non-solvent concentrates, which thankfully has been saved as a category thanks to people like Don.
Nice.
And we're very excited. Then we have edible gummies, edible non-gummies, and other like chocolates. And then topicals, tinctures, capsules, sublinguals. And how could I forget the vape pens category?
There you go.
So 11 categories that people are saying, hey, I'm the best, or I want feedback, or I need to get my brand name out there. Here's the product. Put it in there. We're accepting this product. Yes, 228 units for most categories. So 228 1-gram units for flour, 228 2-gram maximum pre-rolls, 228 half-gram for concentrates, or we go down to 100 for edibles and even 60 for topicals. So different layers, different number of kits. We accept this product. We then take about 5 days to build 2,000 judge kits. A judge kit is a High Times zippered tote bag, either tie-dye or black, depending on the category. We're packing that kit with all of the entries that we receive from different brands. So let's say there's 28 different entries into indica flower. We're building 228. Every one of those grams that a cultivator is giving us is going into a separate judge kit. We're building 228 of the same judge kits. So if you're an indica flower judge and you're an indica flower judge, you're both getting the same indica flower judge kit with one 1-gram unit of all these different 28 strains.
That's awesome.
You get 2 months to judge. Inside of that kit is the judge access card. It's a little 5x7 card. It's not trash. It's not to be thrown away. You're going to read that. You're going to read every single word, and you're going to go to cannabiscup.com/judge. You're going to click the category that you're judging. You're going to click your access code, which is nicely written at the bottom of your judge card. Don't show that publicly on social profiles or anything.
There you go.
Enter that login code. You're now in. You're gonna get some instructions, some sample descriptions, because we want to show people what a good judge would say, so that they can be a good judge. We don't want people who are like, yeah, got high, smelled good. Like,
oh wow, so you actually walk them through, judging criteria.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
Yeah,
that's smart.
1 through 10 on aesthetics, 1 through 10 on aroma, on taste, on burnability, on effects, and then we have a comment section. We want to hear everything from, I opened the jar, I smelled lemony diesel aromas, saw bright green fluffy buds. felt dense, cured right, broke it up, rolled it in a joint, smoked on my couch, ate a box of pizza with my girlfriend. Like what the whole story and experience is. We want to hear all about it and try to comment on each of those 5 criteria that we're collecting qualitative or quantitative data on, and now we want some qualitative data.
And see, that's huge. Just the structure, the way it's set up, I think surpasses any other competition that's been out here. And then, like I said, don't get mad. I
honored.
And they're thrown by people I know. You know what I mean? And guys that busted their ass and tried really hard to bring something to New Mexico that wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
So no hate on any past cup or award show, because we enter all competitions. We as a company love to compete. We got big old trophy case, and we like that. We like to show off what we can do. But there's never been a competition that was quite as structured like this one. And that's where I think there's a certain part of that I'm really proud to be part of and to have in the state.
Yeah, and that was
appreciate that. Yeah,
definitely the objective of bringing High Times to New Mexico to make sure that, again, there's more of a national recognition to get some of these companies who have been here for a while, 10 years or more doing this, and some of these companies who just got on, give them the same opportunity as these guys who have been in the game for a while to promote their company and kind of take things to that next level. And so, we're really excited to have High Times in New Mexico, and I think it's going to be awesome.
We're so excited to be here. It's great.
Julio, you didn't introduce yourself.
Yeah, let's hear Julio.
Yeah. Who are you?
So I'm Julio G, co-owner of Fusion Promotions and also co-owner of Crescent Valley Management. And Fusion Promotions, of course, is been working on getting this together with High Times for a better part of 4 or 5 years. Took a long time with the state to really get things going. And thank you to the state, thank you to the CCD and RLD for allowing us to get this done. That's
shout out
definite
CCD.
Process. Yeah, it's been a process, man. So happy to be going there. But yeah, with Fusion, our promotion company, this has kind of been on our radar for a while. We wanted, like I said, to bring something that really put New Mexico on the map, so to speak. As far as the industry, I know there's so many good producers here. We all know from the black market industry, so many good people who grow cannabis here. A lot of people who were into manufacturing, whether it was oils back in the day or all these different lanes and categories that we now have the opportunity to highlight and showcase and kind of, give these people a chance to shine. So from that perspective of the promotion company, it was a big thing to bring a huge event like this to New Mexico. And we're just glad to have Kaz in the building, man, and finally get it done, bro. It's been a long time coming. And I think everybody who is anticipating the show is going to be very excited with what happens. And, I think everybody who gets involved is going to be excited to see who does win. Yeah, I'm looking for those mom and pop shops that come out of nowhere.
Me too.
Win a category that nobody was expecting, right?
Yeah.
And to that point, is there categories, Mark, that we are lacking in, or that people, still have an opportunity to get into, or that we still need entries for?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, luckily, New Mexico has high purchase limits of 56 grams for a one adult use purchase, which is great, whereas California is like 28.
Yeah.
So we could fill more flower. I think we have about an ounce in each of the flower categories, or just about. So, but we can, again, take up to 56. So any more cultivators out there, hit me up, kaz@hightimes.com, and let's talk about it.
We'll definitely try to push some of our friends and some of the guys we know in the industry.
But it's looking good right now. It's looking.
Because it's next week.
Yeah, it's next week. It's looking good. Yeah,
drop-off,
Monday through Wednesday is intake. Yeah, I should talk about all the timelines as well. But we were lacking on non-solvent concentrates. So all the rosin makers, where you at? We are now looking good.
Well, and we should touch on that. I'll tell you where a lot of the rosin guys. Number one, the biggest thing we heard was we don't have enough stock.
Yeah.
So we do understand a lot of guys are just so small scale that they don't have legitimate stock. And at the end of the day, I think there was a lot of cool companies that did want to compete that just couldn't meet that mark, which I understand.
Definitely.
I understand as well.
They probably will be able to next year.
We're thinking about decreasing the lot size. Which of course decreases the number of judges that you have, but we would think maybe, hey, if it's more amenable to do 100 units, get more brands in, because we just want it to be a big competition. We want a lot of brands in, and we want it to be robust. We want a judge to be like, hell yeah, I want this kit, and I got 2 months to judge this.
Right.
And I think we should touch on the other side of it. I think a a lot of these companies are wondering how you guys got a little hate when you guys first came in, and we briefly touched on it when we were first talking, but a lot of people were against, out of state high times coming in and doing a competition and wanting money and lots of grams of concentrate and different stuff like this. And there was some vocal people in the industry, in the community that had a problem with it and kind of shed a bad light on it. And I think some companies, they don't want to get that, they don't want the influencers and the community members to be like, oh, you sold out, you went into high times. Farmers doesn't give a fuck, obviously. You know what I mean? It's farmers and fucking, we do what we want.
Because you're an adult.
And we compete.
Yeah.
But some companies are scared of that. They're scared of that bad publicity, in a sense, from their local community. Do you guys see that hate in other states? Is it like a common thing?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of states, like Alaska was very, very community based. I mean, a lot of states have different communities, and some they don't like outside companies, or they're looking at high times as if we're some big corporation, but we're not. We have like 25 salaried employees, and the rest are, in dispensaries, which are, is a big part of our business. So there's a lot of retail hourly employees, but the main, the salaried employees were small, so they think
that's
we're
as many employees as we have. So that's I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it's we do 8 cups a year. We're on site for 2 weeks at a time, and it's me and 3 other people that run 8 cannabis cups. It's huge. Nonstop planning, nonstop traveling, and we like trying to do new states that deserve that recognition. We come in. There's gonna be some people that love us, some people that hate us. It happens everywhere. Hopefully, we can introduce ourselves and do our best with the most integrity so that people turn that hate into, maybe they're coming here for a real reason and they're not just trying to do a money grab or come and take somebody's anything else. Like yes, we're going to make money because we are a business. So we're going to make money off of what we do in a project, because we also have people, investors in our company, bills to pay, salaried employees, etc. I can't come and do this for free and still have a job.
Well, and you guys, high times stats. You guys are the oldest international cannabis publication, right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody older than High Times?
Nobody older in terms of media publications. We've
that's huge. So
coming up on 50 years next year.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And so to think about exactly, you guys are a business. You obviously create a magazine for a profit. You know what I mean? It's not a non-profit magazine, and you know what I mean? It's obviously a business, but at the end of the day, to have any type of connection or any type of, representation in one of the oldest, probably the largest cannabis publication in the world, that's huge. Just being affiliated with that and as a small business, being able to be affiliated with that's huge.
Yeah, so it comes with ups and downs. It's awesome because, yes, when some people love High Times, we'll get stopped and potentially even treated like celebrities. People want to take photos with us because we're wearing High Times stuff and they love it and it's been a big part of their life. And then there's other people who, talk negative about us, and it comes even to my personal accounts and channels, people texting me on Sunday mornings being like, "Where's this?" Well, related to something that has nothing to do with anything of even my portion of the business. But
a big part of it, what it boils down to, is not everything is for everybody, right? But
very true.
People will get involved. The right people will get involved with this first cup, and the people who don't will see their opportunity this year. Maybe
get involved next year
and get their chance next year. And that's really what it's about. Is making it happen at least one time to bring awareness to the market, let people see that this is a legitimate competition, this is done correctly. And I anticipate next year being tenfold what we have this year, right?
I hope so. And yes, very much integrity. Doesn't matter. You guys are our friend. You guys are our friends. We're going to have sponsors. We're going to meet different people, do grow tours, etc. None of that will affect the scores or the judgments.
Well, that's
anything.
the cool
it's all
thing, right?
Up to the people.
Actual people.
Yes.
Right. None of us are judging.
Right. And even with I love the roundtable judging style, but it's a small group of people that dictate a big award. Instead of 7, 10, even 50 or 100, edibles is 100, but 228 people that are helping to decide this from all across the state. Nobody's going to be so biased and sway the scoring that hard.
No, because it basically boils down to who's the first in line to buy the bag, right? So if you're not in line at your local dispensary to take advantage of your opportunity to buy a bag, you missed your opportunity to be an official judge.
There's a certain flex in that.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly. Like if you're not there, then you just flat missed out.
Yeah.
So
flower and concentrate heads, get there early.
Yeah, man.
That's what, June 17th. All right. So let's talk about timelines. So
real quick, just before we move into that, what are the bags that usually sell the fastest?
Flower. So indica flower kits, sativa flower kits, hybrid flower kits, and then concentrates. So we have a solvent concentrate kit, which will probably have we're still waiting for all the product to come in, but maybe 16 different half grams in there.
Yeah.
Non-solvent concentrates would probably be a little smaller at like 8 to 10 half grams. But those usually go super quickly. Pre-rolls as well. Just depends. This is our first time doing it in the Mexico market. We have some sales data from what, some of our retail partners are giving us and whatnot. Shout out Payco. Shout out Pure Life. Yeah, what's up? A few other peeps. We got a whole list. We got to go through all of it.
Yeah.
But...
So go ahead. You were going to mention the timeline of
Vince,
how
you guys should bring up
working.
the ad mat so I can get everybody on the list.
Make sure we don't miss nobody.
Exactly.
I think there was Mountaintop.
Mountaintop.
Oh,
the
you
whole
make
deck,
me
maybe.
say it, huh? All my competitors.
Shouts out to Elevated.
Mountaintop, Elevated.
Shout out President.
Shouts out to Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost. Who's Ghost?
GH Labs.
Ghost Lab. Ghost is a brand new company that's coming into New Mexico, and they're doing some cool stuff. So we're excited to have them in.
Okay.
They are.
Cool
dudes. Cool dudes.
Yeah, real good guys.
They were all vibing in a car when I had a video chat with them. They were like, yeah, we want to be a part of this. We want to celebrate New Mexico.
Yeah, no, they
I
were-
was like, all right, let's do it.
They were in, gun ho, to be a sponsor, to be in the competition. So
Yep.
it's cool to have new people like that come into the market. I think it's great for the cannabis industry, and I think it's only going to help further push, legitimizing this industry in New Mexico and making people aware that this thing's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
I think the main thing that the public was sad about, and at the end of the day, it's something they were sad about, was the public gathering. And that's where people that have watched High Times Cups, they've seen the old stuff where, the big, huge smoke out gathering with public smoking and all this great stuff.
Yep.
New Mexico won't allow you to do that. They won't allow you to public smoke. They're working towards some consumption stuff.
We are definitely in talks with CCD and RLD about changing that for potentially what we're doing with High Times.
Yeah, temporary licenses for certain circumstances.
But as it stands, you know what
Correct.
I mean?
On the books officially,
yes.
you cannot do that in a public event.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And then what we talked about, previously in our meetings was also kind of what COVID did to the whole getting together big public event thing. And I can let you, elaborate on that and kind of why it's not a big get together anymore and why it's changed to more of a business to business based event.
100%. Yeah. So traditional cups, what everybody knows and loves, which I know, love, and miss, are the Cannabis Cup festivals. So it's a smaller competition where we would have 200 judges. That's where it was hand-selected judges. That worked well for a while. And we had, the homies of the homies and friends of High Times and, some of the legends, Ed Rosenthal and Danny Danko, and then even celebrities, Wiz Khalifa, Willie Nelson, cool handpicked people. And then COVID hit. Nobody was doing events. We were still being asked by growers, processors, consumers, hey, I still want to have a Cannabis Cup. What's the deal? Couldn't do events, so we kept the competition going. And before, you used to have to apply. You'd have to send in an application to be a judge. We'd get thousands of applications. We'd only be able to choose 150 to 200.
I remember.
Yeah, so it was tough to be a judge. And we heard everybody's complaints, and we were like, all right, let's do this. If the cultivators, if the people growing and processing can get us enough product, then we can make enough judges. Make enough judge kits for enough judges. And we turned the model around. We're able to do a lot more cups now. We used to be able to do 3, 4 a year. Now we're doing 8 to 10 a year, and getting to more states, more awards. But we were not doing events. So it would be a larger competition, more judging, open to the public, people judging from home over the course of 2 months. And they get all their scores in, and then we would announce the winners on a live stream award show where it's more publicly available for free to the entire world. So we get people tuning in from all over, which is great.
And what I see from it too is most importantly is, like I said, the business to business aspect of it is those are, you know, the ones pushing money into the cannabis industry. Those are the ones that, you know what I mean, really are funding everything. So I think that the benefit to them is still there. And it's still the recognition of the trophy, the actual event of the competition, of the judging and everything. That's still there for the ones that are creating products, for the ones that are growing amazing weed, for the ones that are making, you know, crazy extracts and amazing tasting edibles and so on and so forth. The craftsmen, the businesses, the people, they're still getting to compete and do the cup. It just, no public event.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well,
which at the end of the day, they just want somewhere to fucking smoke.
So look, and we want that too. I miss that so much. That was one of the best parts of my job, is helping to produce that. And I can't take credit for putting on those events because they were monstrous and amazing. But we want to do these events. We've been pushing for the resources and the approvals to do events. We've been able to do some smaller award shows and whatnot. But yeah, we wanted to try to do a New Mexico award show with the help of Julio and Damien and Fusion. So we are working to hopefully get a live event happening on September 23rd in Albuquerque, where we'll have some talent, we'll have vendors, tickets to come soon.
Yeah, so
and the whole award show, and announce the winners in public to get everybody together.
This would officially be the only High Times live event this year, right? That you guys have done, or award
that we
show?
have done so far, but we're looking at doing a larger event in California.
Because obviously everybody wants the events.
Everybody does.
Everybody misses that aspect, but I think we're happy to announce that it's very likely that we are going to have a live event for New Mexico. As Mark said, Fusion's been working really hard with local venues and stuff and the CCD to get this approved, but it looks like we will get a live award show September 23rd. There are still some things that we have to work out. There's a couple of things that are still in the mix, but September 23rd is what we're looking at.
Yep.
And I think that'll really help vendors in Albuquerque and New Mexico along, get real excited about Cannabis Cup actually doing something live. We'll have live entertainment.
That's huge.
I would love it.
Award show. We'll have vendor opportunities, so it's going to be an awesome day. And that could appease the ones bitching and whining about not having an event.
But you know what? They can keep bitching and whining, because by the time we announce this, the intake dates will be done. So they'll just be, wait, I wish I did. Oh,
you're right. You're right.
They'll see their opportunity
is in a couple days.
They'll be one of the first in lines next year. You know what I mean? They'll be
first in line next year.
Well,
but hey, maybe we can grab a meal.
The ones that trusted it and rocked with it from the beginning, that'll be kind of a plus to them.
Exactly.
Obviously.
A nod to them for being open-minded, trying something new, and just saying
kudos
hello
to those
back.
people who got involved early and weren't afraid of what this was going to turn out to be. But we're definitely excited to say that it's very highly likely that it'll be September 23rd. More information will come out soon, but. We'll be doing it live here in New Mexico.
Exactly. So the timelines are intake next Monday through Wednesday, June 7 and 9. We're taking in all the product in Roswell. Then we're building all the 2,000 judge kits. Then we're transporting them out to about 25 dispensaries. You guys can check them out at cannabiscup.com. List the categories, list the retailers, probably more to be announced, pricing to be determined. We'll keep you updated. What you got?
So you got to listen to what he said there. They're going to 25 different dispensaries. So don't think your fucking local dispensary is going to have 200 kits.
That's exactly. Right. No.
So these are being
Some people might have 3 indica flower kits, 3 hybrid flower, like 3 of each category. It's going to be spread out.
You're going to have to be first in that line. Don't sleep on this.
Don't sleep. Don't sleep in on Saturday. Saturday, June 17th.
Don't think you're going to stroll in at 2:00 and get it back.
Nope. Yeah. You might get I don't know. If you want,
we'll get the episode published, as quick as possible, so we can definitely at least judge kits. That's going to be, when are the judge kits being released?
June 17th, Saturday, June 17th.
Okay.
We got Santa Fe, we got Albuquerque, we got Roswell, we got Las Cruces, we got the whole New Mexico covered, baby. That's the Cuban in me coming out. The Cuban in me.
I noticed that wasn't quite a New Mexican accent.
Not quite.
That was something else.
It's Cuban. It's Cuban. All right. It's Floridian, Ohioan, New Yorkan, Las Angela's
A little bit of everything mixed in.
A little bit of everything. A nice potpourri.
No,
But yeah,
man.
mark that on your calendars. June 17th. Make
Yep.
sure you know if your local dispensaries are selling kits or not.
Exactly.
Talk to your retailers.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll be announcing it on CannabisCup.com who the retailers
Exactly.
are.
They're already announced. Pure Life, Weed, WHEED, or maybe 3 E's. Might be 3
Weed's
E's.
the homies. They're in
Yeah.
Los Alamos, the only spot in Los Alamos.
Exactly. That's why we got you covered out there.
Have you been to? So you haven't been to Los Alamos?
This is the first place we've been.
Oh, so Los Alamos is a crazy fucking place. So
Yeah?
there's some crazy places in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try to capture as much of it as we can. Next week, we'll be driving around.
And obviously,
Follow us.
I can't say much about Los Alamos, but you can go. You'll have to go to drop off the kit. But yeah, it's this crazy little like military town because of the base there, and the labs there. So, I had worked there before, and I don't know if I've told the story on the podcast or not, but the town just shuts down at like 8 o'clock, and it's like a fucking ghost town. And there's a lot of little towns in New Mexico with all kinds of dispensaries. But our homies, Weed, are the only ones that had the balls to put one in Los Alamos. Everybody thought it was crazy because it's all government employees. They all have clearance. So, I mean, like, it's crazy. You drive in like a fucking gate. Like I said, I don't want to say too much, but you'll see. But there's like towers. You know what I mean?
It's
but
different,
it's a serious fucking thing there.
Okay.
And I mean, like 8 p.m. fucking... It's like a fucking movie set.
So are you saying it's haunted or something, or what's the problem?
No,
You're saying
it's
it's just
just
not a business sense.
It's not a weed town.
Yeah, it's not a weed town.
It's famous for them building the first atomic bomb.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Got
what
it. That's it.
And that's
Well,
what's
and it's still
notorious
an
thing.
active-
But
but
actually
it's still
testing it, right?
Well, it's an active
Building it, testing it.
laboratory too.
It's an active laboratory still. It's an active,
So are we going to get
high-profile-
deformities after this visit?
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be okay. Just
Might get snatched up in Roswell. You got the alien thing going on, but
yeah. So Roswell's got So New Mexico's a crazy place.
I
right?
know. Tell us what you guys know.
You're going to some
Enlighten
crazy
us.
place. But no, I just wanted to shout out Weed in Los Alamos for being the one dispensary out there, and they do great. They do great. The naysayers were wrong about Los Alamos. They sell plenty of weed.
they're doing well. Yeah, right on. So yeah, there's going to be places all over the state of New Mexico. Dispensaries will have bags and kits. Make sure you check in with your local stores, your favorite spots. See if they're going to be getting kits. Also go to CannabisCup.com.
Yep.
Find out where the retailers are. And
Yeah, we got Higher Purpose. We got all the Pecoses. We got Prohibition 37. We got Weed. Yeah, about to update these with some of the new ones.
So Albuquerque, it's going to be hard to get because they're sending these packs to other cities. There's a lot of cities in New Mexico. It's going to be hard to find that judge pack. So I'd be on your shit if you're in Albuquerque. I would find these, registered dealers, registered dispos, and try to figure out how to get there at the right time.
That's right.
Yeah, very
That's
true.
right. And hopefully we have everything locked in for the live event. Tickets for that event will be on sale the day bags go out as well. So you have an opportunity. If you don't get a bag, get a ticket to the show and come be a part of the party and have fun with us as well. So.
Hopefully including that together. So get a kit, get a ticket,
Yes.
a little reduced cost for both. And yeah, it should be great. But judge your hearts out. Judging is required. Don't buy a kit if you're not going to judge, and if you're not going to judge with integrity and intelligence.
There you go.
We want detailed descriptions. Don't just get in front of your computer, log in, and then open the product and let your journey begin.
There you go. Take your time. Give us your honest opinion, and let's make sure we award the right people the recognition they deserve. Mm-hmm. So
Damn right. Damn
Man,
right.
thank you guys for coming down. I'm super excited about the cup. Thank you, Julio, for everything you've done to bring these guys here.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Shouts out to everybody. We got Elevated.
Yeah,
Ghost
we got
again.
GH Labs, Mountaintop
Pecos-
Extracts. We got a bunch of glob mops and all the concentrate kits. That'll be fun.
There you
Nice.
go.
Yeah, shout out to Farmers. I can't wait to
Thanks,
see
man.
what entries you guys put in the cup. See what the judges think.
Yeah, I
There's
think-
going to be some
I think
wonderfully
we dropped
positive.
9 entries.
There you go.
There we go.
we're
They're
competing.
ready.
There you go.
We're competing.
So,
Farmers is in.
We're
Bring 'em
competing.
out.
So yeah.
Lots of different people will be involved. So shouts out to everybody that's competing, and let's see who the winners are.
Exactly. There's going to be some wonderfully positive reviews and some brutally negative reviews for you guys to get some real feedback.
Our motto is fuck them. So you know what I mean?
Farmers.
You
Fuck
know,
them.
we don't water down, and I don't think anybody should. If you're out there doing something and you're proud of it, and you have something to stand behind,
stand on your square, man. Stand on your square, and
you know what I mean.
Don't represent. You know, that's what this competition's for. So if you're,
don't be scared of nobody. Don't be scared of a hater. Don't be scared of somebody. Look,
we want to see everybody.
Everybody's gonna have something to say.
Yeah, we want to see everybody in the competition.
Yep.
And this is your opportunity to compete with those big companies. And no matter how big or small you are, this is your chance to shine. So, looking forward to it.
That's it.
Donnie,
Thank you
thanks,
guys.
man. Thanks for
That's it.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having us.